Back with us on the SportsMax Zone. The race for the Jockeys Championship at Caymanas Park is going down to the wire. Heading into today's race day, 2018 champion Anthony Thomas led Dane Warrior Chief Nelson by 1 win with a score at 84-83. Lance Whitaker, as I told you at the top, isn't on set because he's at the track, and he gave this update.
So it's been another day of the continuation of the huge championship battle for the jockeys title between Dane Nelson and Anthony Thomas. And it's been a tough day for both riders. Anthony Thomas was winless from nine rides on the card. Now, it's a bad time for him to be losing form, Anthony Thomas, because the last time he had gone back-to-back race days without a win would have been the first week in July. And he comes now in December when he badly needs wins to go 2 consecutive race days without a win. Dane Nelson had just 1 win on the card, so that means he now joins Anthony Thomas atop the Jockeys title race with 84 wins each. The two having started the day with Anthony Thomas on 84 wins and Dane Nelson on 83. And now Dane Nelson has 17 rides over the weekend between Saturday and Sunday. He has 9 rides on Sunday in fact, and Anthony Thomas will have fewer rides on the card. I think Thomas has 15 rides to Nelson's 17. But Nelson had 1 win today. It came in the second race aboard Stanislaus, a good win by 3/4 of a length, fighting on and getting a good victory. There was a scary moment as well for Dane Nelson on today's card when he fell from his mount in the 5th race. The horse Leo, the 3 horse going over the straight course, veered very badly to his left coming out of the starting gates, and Dane Nelson fell off the horse, but he wasn't badly injured and was able to continue his riding duties for the rest of the day. So at the end of the third to last race meet of the race year for 2020, it's dead even between the jockeys Dane Nelson and Anthony Thomas, 84-84. And Dane Nelson, as I said, has 17 rides on the weekend, including 9 on the final day on Sunday. Anthony Thomas will have 15 rides.
Yep, so that's the situation there. Lance Whitaker's giving us that update. Now, in that race, Wayne, where Dane Nelson fell from Leo, that race was won by Action Ann. And if you see the hint I'm dropping here, Action Ann, of course, the nickname for the Member of Parliament for Eastern Portland, Anne-Marie Vaz.
Is that her horse?
That horse is part owned by her husband, Daryl Vaz. Yeah, the Minister of Science and Energy and Technology. And I got a phone call from him today, very exuberant, saying that, oh, the horse was the 2 times that she's been beaten by colts, and that they put her against this company and they knew that she was going to walk over them. She won by 12 lengths and looks a very, very decent sort at 2 years old. So Action Ann appears to be going places. But lucky for Dane Nelson that no other horse, the horses weren't behind him. So when he fell from Leo, he just rolled around and there was no threat of a trailing horse trampling on him. So yeah, very, very lucky for him at this most crucial time, Wayne, I'm suggesting.
Of course, I'm very scary, George. I mean, a situation like that, the first thing you're going to think of is health. And I'm happy that, you know, he fell off the horse and no broken bones, no nothing. He was able to ride out the day and still another win. No, they are jointly on top of the charts now, at top of the championship now. So therefore, it's all guns blazing on this weekend, George, Saturday. And so look at that.
If you see right here, the jockeys are taught. So what he did there is a part of his training so many years ago when he was at the jockey school. You land on your feet. So this is not an amateur would have just tumbled off the horse. He held on, and if you see how he fell, that's part of his training. The momentum just carries him forward. So you try to land on your feet, and then you roll and tuck. Yeah. So his roll was not neat. But then he didn't have to tuck because, of course, there was no trailing horses.
Effective.
Oh, yes. So he lands on his feet, he's fine.
I'm happy for that because, as I said, I mean, it's always so dangerous when those horses are so heavy and they're going at that type of pace and then, you know,
1,100 pounds at 40 miles per hour.
I'm telling you, I'm really happy that he's okay. So the championship will continue and the excitement will continue. He has 17 rides. Thomas has what, 15 rides?
Yes.
So, Thomas, what's happening with him? He has not a win now.
It happens.
He had 9 rides last week, George.
It's just like your opponent is leading you by 3 points in a basketball game. You get an open 3 and you hit the rim.
Could he be panicking?
Yeah?
Is that case where he's panicking?
But no, it's just that it's not panicking. I'm saying LeBron James has a shot with the Clippers leading by 3 points in the NBA final, there is a minute and a half on the clock. He has an open three and he hits the rim, so he has to run back up, defend, go back down the floor and try to score again.
Okay,
so
let me ask you one
go.
question, because you know a lot about horse racing. I really don't. I just love it. Is it a situation where his agent is not selecting the better rides for him?
No, remember,
he's just riding, he's just numbers.
Remember, let me point something out to you. Let me go back to the race program today. Remember that at the most competitive time of the year, which is now, each horse race, say for instance a race has 10 horses, there may be 2 or 3 horses in that race with a winning chance. Dane Nelson will probably ride one, Thomas will ride one, but somebody else is riding another. That somebody else can win. Dane's horse may break slowly, may be interfered with, may not get the path on the track that he wants, and circumstances can happen. And the other horse with a strong winning chance can win. So you're gonna have moments like these when you're gonna have rides on the card. When you look at the card, you say, oh, but this horse is going to beat me because this horse is a better horse. That horse may give me some trouble, and it happens. There are 2 days to go, so there's a lot of riding.
So just this weekend coming up, that's it?
That's it.
Okay.
Two race days, and it's done. All right, let's crack on, because the chairman of Supreme Ventures Racing and Entertainment Limited, SVREL, Solomon Sharpe, says the recent deal signed with racing solutions provider Betmakers Technology Group will transform the racing industry in Jamaica. SVREL announced on Tuesday that the deal, which runs until 2025, well, it runs until 2025. Now, enticingly, Betmakers will implement, manage, and distribute a fixed odds betting solution set to give punters more choices when placing their wagers, making their bets. Solomon Sharpe is at Caymanas Park, where another race day was ticked off for 2020. He joins us now to discuss this deal. Solomon, welcome to the SportsMax Zone again.
Thank you very much, George. How are you doing, Wayne?
I'm doing great. This is how I get to talk to you. I can't call you and get you. You're so busy.
Well, I tell you, I don't have no credit to call you back, sir.
You're right.
Solomon, I spoke in the lead up about an aspect of the deal where fixed odds betting will now become a reality by virtue of this partnership with Betmakers. What other aspects of this deal do you think the public must know about at this time?
So there are several different aspects. Thanks for having me on your program. There's a sponsorship, but that's just a small part of it. So the most important thing is not just coming to Jamaica, setting up the fixed odds platform for the Jamaican market, but they have a global market that they offer like 5,000 races per week on a global landscape, right? And they're one of the biggest distributors on the global landscape, and that's what they're coming to offer. So Brand Jamaica and Caymanas Park will be on exhibit globally. Now, on this side of the world, we tend to get more involved in the pool betting, right? In the prime mutual. What happened years ago in Australia when they introduced this whole fixed odds, it created a whole different dynamic, and it brought a whole different audience to racing. And the whole take, including the pool, was about $8 billion at the time, and it tripled it to about 24. So what we're hoping is that some additional cash will come in, because you can only get so much from your local market, and any racing jurisdiction globally that has not grown with their own homegrown market. So we've seen the bets start to look better, and the punters are enjoying themselves, because there's some additional funds making like exactas pay nice and all of the reggae sixes, everything.
Yeah. Solomon,
it's a whole different dimension.
Solomon, in terms of the fixed odds, explain for my viewers what this fixed odds facility is, how it will work in practical terms. What does it mean?
So we used to play a little bit of cricket, eh?
Just a bit.
So in fixed odds, like say in India, they bet everything. Who is going to bowl the first over? How many runs are going to be scored on the first over? So in horse racing, if I like a horse on Friday evening and it is showing 10 to 1, and I buy it at 10 to 1, that's the odds that I get. Now, based on the betting, if the odds drop later down, and it said drop 3 to 1 before the race, and I buy it then I get 3 to 1. In the pool, when a horse opens at 10 to 1, if it drops down to 3 to 1, I get 3 to 1, I don't get 10 to 1, right? This allows us a whole different amount type of variables. You know, you can bet without the favorite. You can bet Nunes versus the Costa. You can bet Thomas versus Nelson. So there's a whole a whole different menu that's going to be on offer with discount betting.
You know, it certainly confused me when I was a youngster getting involved in the game, and I'd read the matrix that would be printed in the Gleaner and see the odds forecasts on certain horses. And then by the time it was post time, those odds profiles would be markedly different. And I'd be wondering, of course, after understanding what happens in Britain and in other jurisdictions, why is it that I couldn't get the 20-1 that this horse was selling this morning?
Exactly.
Why do I now have to take 8-5 when 8-5 is not paying me anything?
So like how you're a British man, you'll be happy with this kind of offering because this is what it's going to get. And it's a two-way street. So they're taking our signal globally. And eventually we're going to get some of those 5,000 races to complement our simulcast offering and all that kind of thing. So it's a two-way thing. And then they're coming with an investment and a sponsorship. And the investment, we don't know what it's going to be right now. The sponsorship is a sizable amount over 5 years. One of the things that they've asked to do, they want to make an impact with one of the groups here. And with the whole Corona thing, the trainers' room became too small, and we're going to be building a trainers' pavilion in the next few months.
Solomon, just explain to me a bit. I want to be totally crystal clear on this, about the odds. So if I purchase a horse at a particular time at 10-1, and before the race it goes down to 3-1, I still maintain my 10-1, is that what you said?
That is correct, sir.
Okay. So tell me about the time zones now. Australia, I think you are 13, 14 hours, George, or something like that ahead of us. How will that work?
Well, with every global platform, right? You get the odds at the time of the game, or the time of the race.
Yes.
I should say.
Yes.
So there's always a translation. Just like when we watch football, Britain is 6 hours ahead, but we get 11 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock their time and all that kind of thing.
Yes.
And we can buy those odds and let us know that race is going to be that football game. For argument's sake, if you buy it on JustBet or AnyBet, you're going to get it at the odds at that time and all that kind of thing. So it's similar. It's easy.
Yeah.
It's like Las Vegas with the fights. Las Vegas is 3 hours behind and different time zone and all that kind of thing. So it's all going to be on a digital platform, and it's super easy.
Yeah, Solomon, the aspect of the sponsorship of races, the Triple Crown Series, what's the, in terms of the deal, what will Betmakers be allowed to do with our Triple Crown Series?
So what they've come in and said, they do not want to come and take over and dominate anything. They're coming to be complementary. So for argument's sake, if I go to the global platform, right, the Breeders' Cup might be presented by Longines, but the different races have different sponsors, right? So on a particular Triple Crown day, the Derby, for argument's sake, or the Derby, might be sponsored by Wayne Lewis, right? But it's going to be powered by Betmakers or something like that. So they're just there to come in to add some value, right? And, we feel like the best way to add value is to transfer some of these sponsorships to the horsemen and try and make the product better on a gradual basis.
Yeah, and just before you go, Solomon, we were very much uncertain as to what would happen to the racing industry around about March when COVID was declared a pandemic and the attendant shutdown of recreation and social life that governments had to implement to ensure that the disease didn't run rampant through societies. We had a false start where racing is concerned. Since we've returned, and I say we because I represent SportsMax and we're all a part of it, we've been sailing along smoothly. From a bottom line perspective, how well have you done with the recalibrated numbers? How well has SVREL done with the racing since the second resumption?
It has done very well. There are different trends of thought out there that, we're the only game in town, so we're getting all the attention and we're doing well because of that. But we did some work behind the scenes again, some further work. From last year, we started to put a digitization platform. And during the COVID break, we sped up a lot of that work. And we started to write the races on a different platform. And we tried to get like 10.5 horses per start on a whole different scale, and we have managed to hold up. Some persons called and said, how are you going to run races Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, and we've turned out to some pretty decent cards. So we're writing the races to suit the horses that we have available to us at the time. We've come in for a lot of criticism, just like with every other sport. But in Caymanas Park is in transition, and there's no A class, as everybody would like to call it, because there's no Legal Light and Royal Dad and want to remember all these horses. But some people must remember before that, where it's coming from, and there was a free level of importation of horses. We need more horses. We need the government to help our industry in a whole different ways. We're not asking for a handout at all. We're just asking to remove the restrictions on duties, all right? Because there's a different way for the government to earn if these horses come in duty-free. So this is a different type of commodity that if you allow it to come in to the shores, right, immediately provides employment at the track, because you know the sport inside out. The groom is going to get paid, the trainer is going to get paid, the blacksmith, the veterinarian, the grassman, the feedman. So one horse can easily feed 100 persons. So we feel that we have been able to keep our bubble down here. We have a 200-acre bubble at Caymanas Park. We put in a lot of protocols, and we have managed to keep everything safe and sound down here, and keep the 4,000 people that are directly employed at the track earning. We do not have enough race days. We need more race days. There's economies of scale for this business to become profitable for everybody. So it's not just about SVREL. We're trying to help the entire industry. And when everything came down to a crescendo, it's like the whole industry was on SVREL and Caymanas Park. So we are trying to help the breeding industry and everybody to be a real vibrant industry. Right now, the industry is about $8 billion, and this could easily be a $15 to $16 billion industry in short order.
Yes.
And these things provide alternate measures for the government to resuscitate the economy with the blows like that we have taken. It's going to take a little while for tourism to get back and other things. So we're a sport. I'm a big advocate of sports.
Yes.
And sport is what is going to turn this economy around.
Absolutely. So, Solomon Sharpe, we are at the end, and I can testify to the rigidity of the COVID-19 measures. On a regular race day when I'm there working, I counted one day, I think my hands were sprayed 21 times. From entering from driving in to walking into and out of the building to the winner's enclosure to do interviews, to go to other places. So yeah, I can testify that it is rigorous indeed. Thank you very much.
We've even come under criticism for somebody on the mic constantly reminding people about their mask, and somebody's like, they're not wearing a mask, but hey, if somebody pulls down their mask to take a breather, we're constantly reminding them, keep your mask on, keep your mask on. So it's a real collective effort. It's not easy because, sometimes these people come from their communities where they're more relaxed with the mask wearing and all that kind of thing. But when you come into our Caymanas Park bubble and our community, we want you to be safe. We have wash stands all over the place. You go in the bathroom, there's always soap and water there. And, we're working round the clock to make sure that this industry stays alive and some people can really earn their living.
Chairman, thank you very much. All the best to you.
Always a pleasure. And Merry Christmas to you and all the viewers and everything. And really want to appreciate SportsMax for all that you've done. And, we're going to get this thing done and we're going to make this industry vibrant again.
Excellent, sir. All the best to you and yours as well.
Thank you.
Good. Break time.